Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about body armor. More specifically, this LA Police Gear body armor level 4 stuff, and more the types of body armor as far as the cut and style and what may work best for what you are looking for. Now, for full disclosure, LAPG did send me this armor for this video. However, I've been a customer of LA Police Gear for a very long time. I buy just a ton of stuff from them with my own money. And they did not send me this armor so much to sell to you or to advertise for you, because I've talked about their armor before. I wear this particular plate for a long time that I purchased myself, but I approached them with the idea of body armor can be expensive, and body armor really can be a personal choice as far as body type, what you think you may need as far as mobility, weight, and things like that. And I wanted to pro and con the whole thing, the whole gamut of from the shooter's cut to MultiCurve, single curve, standard like sappy cut, and things like that, and they thought it was a great idea. And so this is information not so much to try to sell you this type of armor, although it is something that I suggest, but to help put knowledge your way for the different styles and the pros and cons of each style. Now, I'm a big proponent of civilian body armor ownership, and to my knowledge, as of right now, it is still legal in 50 states. Who knows what the government has in store, but I think that body armor over a long period of time, considering the fact that you're going to have it for a long time, is not a very big investment. You can get a set of plates and a somewhat inexpensive carrier, and it's going to last you a very long time, and it is an irreplaceable life-saving component. They are generally lightweight. You can carry them in your vehicles, things like that. There's been, over the past even decade, there's been a lot of civilian disturbances, and that's a polite way of saying riots and massive amounts of violence in the streets. And so I think something like armor between home use and on-the-go use is, again, an irreplaceable life-saving component. Now, for the purposes of today, there is one cut style that I am missing, but they don't have one in their brand of armor, and it's one that I think that is very, very specialized and not as popular as these three options. So these are the main three options that you will incur. And that is the shooter's cut. In the testing video, I keep calling this a swimmer's cut. That's a gaffe on my part. Swimmer's cut tends to have an even lower cut here and swoops in where your pec is, giving you lots and lots of mobility, but does sacrifice coverage. So this is shooter's cut. This is going to be a sappy cut, or what I might call a standard cut, because this is pretty much this style, the dimension that you will see in most body armor these days. But this is a multi-curve, where it has a curve going this way for your body to barrel like this, and a curve going this way around your body and around your chest. And then again, a sort of a standard cut, sappy cut, but this is a single curve where it only curves this way. Now, before we go into the specifics of each style of armor and the pros or cons, the advantages or disadvantages of each style, let's go into the testing footage. I did test the hell out of all of these, and they withstood everything I could throw at them, and a significant more than what you would likely ever incur in any sort of a confrontation. So let's check out that footage now. All right, so this is M855, X-Tac M855 from True Shot Gun Club. This is the level 4 MultiCurve LAPG. Let's give this a couple shots. Oh, can't stop at one. Can't stop at one. Let's check it out. Of course, there's no penetration because it's rated for M855. A couple shots here, takes the chunks out, which is typical of a ceramic type body armor. Let's put a couple more shots into this of a different caliber. This is 124 grain Hornady XTP hollow points. So let's try this. One entry right there. Let's give it, see if I can put a couple more in it without it falling over. All right, let's check that out. This is more shots than you'd likely ever get hit with in any gunfight, but many entry holes here with, of course, just a small amount of back face deformation, not very much, and no penetrations. Let's move on to the swimmer's cut. All right, we are going to get rowdy with the swimmer's cut right away and go 308. This is just some surplus ball ammo. I'm not sure of the weight right off the top of my head, but out of the Savage Model 11. Woo! Of course, we're at whatever, 10 yards. Nice big chunk taken out of it with that 308. Small amount of back face deformation, not penetrating beyond the curvature though. So let's put a couple more in here and see what it'll take. All right, so we're getting out here on the edge, but even out here on the edge, which I know has a few people have said, you know, they talk about edge to edge protection. This one's right out here on the edge and it still stopped it. A little bit more significant back face deformation, but it nonetheless still stopped it. Let's put one more in it. Destroyed it. But wow, it stopped it. So that was at the bottom. I did that on purpose to get as much of the edge as possible. Again, some back face deformation, but it did stop it. So this is the standard cut or single curve shooter's cut, the more of the standard style that one would be used to seeing. And we're going to be using these PDX-1 segmented hollow point slugs. Well, that came all the way back and hit me. And it is as intact as I expected it to be. Busted out some of the ceramic, a little bit of back face deformation. Did rip the stitching here a little bit, but stopped it as I would expect it to do. Let's shoot another caliber at this one. All right, 7.62 by 39. This is just some Wolf standard Wolf stuff. I have the AK. Good hits, and hits here, 2 hits here. I think one of the hits was here, maybe 2 of them were here, one of them was here. But either way, stopped it. A little bit of back face deformation, again as expected, but stopped everything. I think I actually got the last. Unfortunately, I don't think I got the last 2 shots on it. I brought the MultiCurve plate back out and put buckshot and another slug into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and it still survives. So I'm gonna put some more green tip into it, loaded up 3 more rounds of green tip. Still no penetration. Let's try another one. I have 1 round left. So needless to say that through all the punishment, it did separate, but it stopped everything that I have thrown at it. So we're going to start with this, the LAPG. This is their most affordable option as far as this style of level 4 ceramic plates. This is be the sappy or standard cut with the single curve. It's 1 1/8 thick. It has a foam padded edge that helps with when your body meets the edge of the plate, whether it's your arms, your biceps, shoulders, any other part of your body, when it meets the edge of the plate, that foam padding helps with some comfort. Again, this is going to be your most affordable option. They're right now around $139, but LAPG tends to put their armor on sale very often and at extremely good prices. Level 4 is good up to 30-06 AP, and while I don't have one, that's why you didn't see that in the testing footage. These have shown themselves in many videos to not only withstand the rated capabilities, but more. The weight of all of these, this is around, the shooter's cut is right around 5.5 pounds, and these two are right around 6 pounds, 6.5 pounds. So they're pretty lightweight for what's on the market today of this style of plate. Now, the advantage of a plate specific like this is going to be not just protection, because that's the advantage of all of them, but the advantage to this specific plate is going to be mainly the price. This is as basic as it gets for a piece of armor. Again, it's 10 by 12. It has the sappy cutouts here, or standard cut, and it has the single curve. So there's the least amount of manufacturing that needs to go into a plate of this style. Let's load this plate up into the LA Police Gear low vis carrier. I have reviewed this carrier. I think it is probably one of the best on the market of this style. So with this plate being single curve, if you're wearing it correctly, not too low, your plate should be right up about even with your sternal notch, which is, if you follow your collarbones down, you will find a notch that starts right at the top of your sternum. That's your sternal notch. But your plate should be right about even with that. It can be just a fuzz lower, but you don't want it a whole lot lower. With a plate like this, being single curve, the of course benefits, like I said, is price, because it is the most basic style, gives you plenty of protection. However, it does tend to stick out tall in the top and in the top back, which means that when you are mounting your rifle, when you are getting into odd positions where you have to curl yourself up, if this messes with the mic, I'm sorry, but your chin will have a tendency to hit the top of the plate being straight up and down. Also, if you are in a position where you are crouched down or prone, or have it to where the top of your carrier is more facing out than forward, it does leave an opening here for the potential round to enter, as opposed to it being curved up like the MultiCurve plate, which we will get into next. So the next one we're going to get into here is the level 4 MultiCurve plate. These come in right around the $199 as of right now. Again, sales prohibited and things like that. These come in right around $199 a plate right now. And being MultiCurve, it is exactly what it sounds like. It has a curve this way and this way to help fit all of the curves of your body. This particular plate does not have the edge band around it, the soft padded edge, so it has a little bit better edge to edge protection and capability. Now it does come right around the 6 pound, 6.5 pound weight again, which is still very light compared to some of the nearest competitors of this style out there on the market. And it's considerably lighter than steel plates. Now to load this one up in that same carrier, as you can see with this plate, it has, with that curved design this direction, and I'm not the most fit guy out there, as I'm sure you could tell, but it still fits me very well. Having a curve this way and this way, it hugs the body a little bit better. It feels a little less bulky on the body because some of these points, like on the standard single curve, that have a point sticking straight out here, straight out here, straight out here, and straight out here, and of course up and down being straight up and down. All of those areas curve in and hug the body a little bit better. It feels like the carrier is a little bit more secure to my body, and it enables me to move, especially my head, in better, it gives my head and chin better options to then miss the carrier if I'm, say, laying on my back and I have to post up a little bit to fire from my back, or even ball up if I'm kneeling down, ball up and get under a piece of a piece of concealment or some sort of a barrier. So those are the massive advantages of MultiCurve, that it really feels better on the body, it hugs the body better, and it gives you advantages as far as mobility. Now the last one we are going to talk about is the one that of these three weigh the least and has the most mobility to offer. It is the same price as the standard sappy cut single curve of the level 4s here. It is still a 10 by 12 design. It has the padded edge on it, but as you can see, it has a much smaller footprint. This is the shooter's cut. Again, during the testing I kept calling it a swimmer's cut. My apologies, but shooter's cut being that it has far deeper cuts in the shoulder and hip area, and again, this affording you the most mobility, the easiest way to mount a rifle, to draw your arms forward for shooting a pistol, getting into odd positions, bending over, and things like that. However, this particular plate does still have that straight up and down feature like the single curve does, where it will stick out just a little bit right here under your chin, which is, as I mentioned earlier, one of the advantages of the MultiCurve. Now this is again coming in right around the same $139 price range as the single curve standard plates. but it comes in at almost a full pound less per plate. So these are very lightweight, full mobility with something like this. And so let's go ahead and put this on. Now, before I strap this up, it'll be easier to show you. You can see here where on these other two, the other two fill out the plate bag almost fully. And on here, you can see where the bottom corners are cut out and the top corners are cut out here. When I strap this thing up, again, it sort of comes up straight like the single curve plate does, because it is a single curve design. But I have the most mobility, and these are cut out. These sappy cut, or these standard cut type plates, these are cut out for mobility, for you to be able to mount your rifle and to draw your arms forward for using a pistol. But having the shooter's cut, it is named very accurately, because I have tons of freedom here. It doesn't even feel like I have a plate on as far as mounting a firearm. And of course, if you are a littler person than me, this plate might fit a little taller on your body. This gives room for your hips, and even if you have more forward mounted magazines that may get caught or hit on the bottom of the plate, that corner also may miss those pistol mags. Now, a little bit more about each plate. I did say 10 by 12. Each of these plates are 10 by 12 with the standard cut, the standard single curve, and the shooter's cut having a foam edge band. As you can see here, they are the same height, the same width. You can't see one beyond the other. One of the things that is a potential disadvantage of the shooter's cut, though, is you do end up sacrificing a little bit of coverage, as the cut here is so deep that you end up missing really about a full inch of coverage up here in the shoulder area. Now, that shoulder area, of course, you want to protect as much as possible, but this still covers the vitals just fine. But again, however, you do lose some of the coverage capabilities that you have with something like the single curve 10 by 12 sappy cut, or the 10 by 12 MultiCurve with the sappy or standard cut. It really, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with any of these plates. Pros being, of course, level 4 protection at a really good price compared to a lot of the competition. This one being ultimate mobility, this one being the lightest weight, partially because it's missing the most material, though. So there is that to consider with this. If you are a smaller statured person, if you are somebody that is having problems or have concerns about problems mounting your rifle when it comes to these full coverage plates, the 10 by 12s, standard or sappy cut, then this may be the option for you. I can tell you that I really like this option, but I don't have problems mounting a rifle when it comes to a plate of this style, and therefore I will take the little bit extra coverage in the shoulder area and the pound or less than a pound weight difference over that missing material. Not a knock on this plate. It's a fantastic plate and probably perfect for tons of people. But again, I choose the little bit extra coverage and slighter extra weight. I'm a big guy. I can handle the weight over this. The standard option here, the standard sappy cut single curve, of course, being a full coverage plate, full 10 by 12 design, has the foam padding around the edge, and in many cases this is going to be probably your least expensive option, even though right now these are priced the same. Of course, the pros being that it does curve to the body at least one direction and has the fuller coverage. Cons being especially if you're going to be weight sensitive, it is almost a pound heavier than something like this, and doesn't have that curve in design that hugs the body so well. And then of course the most expensive option being the MultiCurve 10x12, the massive pros being full coverage and the MultiCurve, so that it hugs the body better. A lot of comfort involved here. And again, if you are somebody who doesn't have a problem mounting your rifle with a full coverage plate like this, a full size plate like this, then you gain the advantage of just a smaller amount of protection in the shoulder area than something like this. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. I am going to put in the pinned comment a link to the LAPG body armor page. I'm not going to link each one of these separately, but these are level 4. They do sell them in level 3 as well, which is a lower ballistic rating, lower threat protection rating. Although very much a very suitable protection rating, and they do come at a lesser cost. I do believe that this plate in a level 3 is right around $119 right now. So you do save money doing that as well. But I'm going to put a link to the LAPG armor page down in the comment section, pinned comment, and in the description, so you can look through there, see all the rest of the description and specifications on these plates. They do all have the literature on the back side of them: protection level NIJ4, material silicone carbide and PE size, data manufacturer, and the warranty of 5 years. This has very much the same, except for again, the material is slightly different: aluminum, PE, 5-year warranty, data manufacturer, and whatnot. But you can look up and browse through those pages to your heart's content. I want you to make an informed decision when choosing armor. If you want a bunch of behind the scenes content, previews, extra other content, there is Ko-Fi, which is sort of a Patreon and Subscribestar alternative, but better than the two of them combined. That is a growing community, and I do appreciate everybody's support out there as well, and everybody's support here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I appreciate LAPG sending this armor out for me, and I hope that this video has helped some people out there to make an informed decision on buying their personal protection and body armor. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.